women, regardless if you're married or single, embrace each other. Do not
That's
judge
right.
each other. Help and heal and mend each other and become a support system.
Serial entrepreneur, two-time author, and certified master life coach, Chastity Sanye is a native Houstonian who loves living life to the fullest. She specializes in empowering her clients to achieve happiness, success, and mindfulness in their daily lives. As a dynamic empowerment speaker and leadership trainer, she utilizes her 2 decades of experience in corporate America to masterfully unwrap the boss within her clients and students. Her unique coaching and speaking style ignites the fire of purpose, helping them to excel in their area of expertise.
That means you have to train them. And a lot of leaders want to lead and not train.
To learn more, visit ChastitySanye.com.
I am your happiness, successful, mindful master life coach, and I am here to give you the nuggets, the tools, the resources, the networks that you need in order to ignite to the next level. Good morning, my phenomenal audience. I am so happy to be on air today and to basically have a great, fulfilling and profound conversation with another woman in my ecosystem. Today, we here on Breaking Barriers are going to talk about strategically investing in your business and give you a few tips that you can take away and use on your everyday journey if you're an upcoming or currently an entrepreneur. I am so pleased and honored to bring to my platform another hybrid woman, Petula Sankarsingh. I think I got it right.
Yeah, yeah. You nailed it. That was
I
amazing.
nailed it. Hey. Yeah, so how are you this morning?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be on here. So thank you for the opportunity.
No problem. Well, I want to tell my audience a little bit about Petula. She's a seasoned executive and a serial entrepreneur over 20 years of experience in business development and operations. That's what I'm talking about. She knows her stuff. She knows how a corporation is supposed to flow from A to Z,
Yeah.
including her most recent venture as the CEO and founder of Vision Ready Inc. Vision Ready is a woman owned global company with a mission to advance and develop and grow small business owned by women, people of color,
Mm-hmm.
LGBTQ, and veterans by tearing down, I'm going to say this again, by tearing down barriers, hence breaking barriers, with intelligent technology. As a pioneer in business digitalization, Vision Ready sees great opportunities for business who are ready and willing to disrupt verticals. I love who you are. I
Oh,
love what
thank
you stand
you.
for. It is very much empowering and powerful and empowering of other women. And I'm glad to have you in my ecosystem.
Oh, thank you so much. I am happy to be here. I love talking about business and encouraging women to be the best version of themselves, and entrepreneurs just get out there and just do it.
Just do it. Okay, we're going to talk about it. We're going to spend the next 30 minutes or 25
Yeah.
minutes or so talking, telling them, giving them tips on different ways to invest in your business. And there's different faces to investing in your business. There is the business side of it, and there is the time side of it. And we can hit on both, or we can cross change ideas, but I'm going to give it to you on the platform, let you start it off and let them know why it's important to invest in your business, and then follow through with tips. And I'll just intercede as we go through.
Sure. Investing in your business, and I always say investing in your business is also investing in yourself, right? I say always be a lifelong learner as a business owner. Stay involved and be active all the time. I would say those are just some key things to stay in your business. We get busy, we get overwhelmed, we hire staff, and then we're like, okay, they can take care of it, but it's not. If you have to be involved and pay attention to every step. You can never just fully walk away, right? So investing the time in your business is very important. So I think it kind of is interchangeable with business and time. Putting time into your business, learning every aspect of your business is very important. Financially invested in your business, when you get to a certain point and you're ready to grow, I think that's good. But I think initially, um, it's all about growth and putting the right pieces into place in order to, not need extra funds in the future. The way we guide people on our platform is we start from the beginning. We assess their business, see if they're okay, see their vision, just walk them through every single step. And a lot of people start businesses and they rush into it, right? And they don't take their time and then they end up failing. If you want to start a business or if you're in business, take your time with your growth. Any tools that you could add to make it better. I just, it's a journey, but you could take it in milestones.
I'm going to add a couple of tips that I think is very important, because we were talking behind the stage before we came on air.
Yes.
I really started my business
Hmm.
in 2010, and I have been working it because, just real talk, I don't come from money, like wealth, like generational money after money after money. I mean, I didn't come from a poverty family. I come from a middle class family,
Hmm.
hardworking family. But it wasn't that I had this trust fund like Kim
Hmm.
Kardashian's child will be a billionaire by the time she's
Right.
14 years old. I didn't have that luxury. So I had to set goals, and my goals are longer because I have life, I have other things that's going on. And it's not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. But
Mhm.
if you're not coming from money and you don't have that financial support, that capital, it's a long-term journey. And
Yes.
most people that go through a long term journey, they don't become successful in their entrepreneur goals and their dreams until they're like in their late 40s, 50s.
Mhm.
If you
Mhm.
think, what's his name? Warren Buffett. He wasn't
I
a
think he was
billionaire.
50 or
Yeah,
something.
he was 50, in his mid 50s, but he said he had started his business and just growing, and you have to go through the growing pains of your
Yes.
business. That's the personal side of investing in your business, the
Mhm.
time. It's not insta, and we're in a society that, oh, I want to be insta rich. Well, it's
Mm-mm.
not that at all. So my tips to strategically investing in your business is set goals,
Mhm.
research and trend analysis for your niche.
Mhm.
Note that what you started with in 2010, it
Mhm.
might change in 2022, and that's okay. But your
Mhm.
core might be, because you've done the research, you've done the trend, you started to know what you're good at, what your niche.
Mhm.
Um, Build a portfolio.
Mhm.
Get advisors, get
Mhm.
consultants, i.e. Petula. And her trust me, she is on my list. One thing that the last two things that I think people don't understand
Mhm.
is strategically risk tolerance and strategic diversifying the risks. People
Mhm.
don't understand that. That's a tricky thing. It's
Mhm.
okay to be that eagle, that baby eagle, and jump off the cliff.
Yes,
It is
exactly.
okay. but you need to learn and know strategic risk tolerance. How much risk are you willing to tolerate to get your
Yeah.
desired return?
Right.
Diversify your risk. Create a portfolio that has mixed debt, equity, dividends, all that. You have to figure that out, but it takes time. And it goes back to the first one of the things I said, getting consultants. Because
Yes.
just because you're the CEO doesn't mean you know everything.
Exactly.
And one thing,
Right.
and I'm
Right.
gonna stop talking, I'm gonna let you have it. And one thing I'm learning about entrepreneurs and
Mhm.
women of color with entrepreneurs, we are so headstrong that
Mhm.
we think we can do everything in our operations. You will fail 100% if you are the treasurer, if you are operations, if you're CEO, if you're marketing. If you do not know how to strategically delegate,
Mhm.
you will fail or you will stay stagnant. I
Mhm.
am not hating, I'm not putting the spirit of fear or
Yes.
doubt. I'm giving you some real information.
Yes.
You can't be everything in your company.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna stop right there.
I completely agree with you. I tell people know your strength, and there's nothing wrong. You won't, like you're saying. Just to piggyback on that, yes, we're strong women. We want to just go in and do it. And, my issue sometimes I just want to control everything because I feel like it'll get done quicker. But we have to let go, right?
Yes.
In order to be successful. And we have to know what our core strengths are and what our team core strengths are as well. And being able to let go and delegate is one of the it's a game changer. It will help you in your business and help the growth of your business. Not only that, stay focused on your niche. Don't
Yes.
let people divert you. You're going to see, people who are going to try to copy. You're going to see people who are doing the same thing, but that's okay. You stay focused on your niche, continue to build it, and you'll see the results in the future. And we can't express enough because I know Chastity just said it. It's a journey. Take your time, make sure you're taking the step, strategically align yourself with what you need to do every month, and even to begin with, get your business structure together, right? Some people don't even have that together. They come
Right.
in, people we deal with, they come in, they're not even registered as a business yet, or they don't have their tax number. There's so much happening there, and you have to be able to tell your story as well. A lot of small businesses, they know in their head what they want, um, but they struggle with telling their own story. And it's important to learn the skill of storytelling as a business owner. I could say that's a huge tip that I'm offering to the audience, because like in for us, we know we're in it every day, doing it. But then when it comes down to telling the story, we're kind of like, well, some people get stuck in that. So definitely learn how to tell your story. I definitely would say that it's a big part of your business, because when you do, your story is impactful to others, and when others are impacted by it, they're going to want to work with you and they're going to recommend you. So just know to have a strong storyline behind who you are.
And I'm gonna come and say this. When you're an entrepreneur, know when you need to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
Pivot financially, pivot your brand. If it's not working, stop forcing it. Step
Exactly.
back, look at your plan, adjust, pivot,
Mm-hmm.
change, delete, add, know, start understanding what other qualities
Mm-hmm.
and values you can bring to the table.
Yes.
I'll give a good example is I'm I am a master life coach
Yes.
slash trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And now I focus on happiness, success, and being mindful. And I'm good at it.
Yeah.
But where I am truly good at is leadership.
Nice.
So, but I do leadership. And don't get me wrong, I didn't change my platform from happiness, success, or being mindful, but
Mhm.
now I'm incorporating leadership qualities because that's where I'm strong in.
Mm.
And that's where, but I had to pivot and I had to be okay with pivoting because my brand does give leadership training. My
Yeah.
brand does give master life coach. But then I had to sit up and think everybody wants to be a master life coach, and it's nothing wrong with that. It is nothing wrong with that. But
Mhm.
what makes you different? I had to find,
Exactly.
yeah, I had to find three qualities that I basically speak on in my daily life.
Right.
That's what it is. People as master life coach, they
Mhm.
want to, oh, I'm going to study. And don't get me wrong, I have my certifications in about 8 different specialties. I'm going to do it on finding yourself or professionalism or mental wellness, mental wellness, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But what do I walk with on my daily practice? I'm
Yeah.
all about being happy. If you
Oh,
if you about that drama, do
see
not
ya.
call me.
Yes, yes. I
If you, yeah,
agree.
I tell people if you about disturbing my peace, do not call me.
Mhm.
If you don't like me, do not call me.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
And
what's
I'm okay with that because I'm 42.
yeah.
And once you get over 40, 40 is like a pivotal change in women's life. But once you start becoming 41, 42,
Yeah.
43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, my peace and my happiness means so much to me than having people linked to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So please do not disturb my peace because you will not even, and I tell some people in a very nice way, and I don't say it like this, but I'm just going to be real and frank, but sometimes
Yeah.
I say it in a nicer way.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to be negative
Oh, right.
and you stroll through your phone and you see my name and you're about to click and you think that you cannot have a positive conversation, keep strolling past my name
I
because
love it.
I do not have time for the buffoonery.
Mhm.
I'm about success. How do we get there? It's a
Yeah.
marathon. And I'm
Yes.
about being mindful. Even though I don't deal with foolishness, I still make sure that I'm mindful. Now,
Mhm.
I'm not going to say you're going to abuse me or
Mhm.
you're going to keep using me, but I am mindful. If the person
Yes.
comes to me and they need help or they want something, I will help them. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to continue to extend myself to individuals that don't appreciate or value my time.
Yes. Oh my God, I was so resonate with that.
Yeah.
Um, you don't have to work with everyone. Choose who you work with and who aligns with your business, aligns with your core. Like you just said, you realize leadership, right? That is you, and that's amazing. Another part of that I could say is be time efficient, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes and I know that I've struggled with it on the real. Like I'll have like 10 screens open and I'm jumping all over the place, trying to do a million things, but then I'm not getting anywhere, right?
Right.
There's nothing wrong with multitasking, there's nothing wrong with that. But what I've learned, and for me, this is what I do. I use my Outlook calendar and I set time. And even if it's time that I need to read 2 chapters in a book because I'm involved in someone else's project or something like that.
Right.
So I would put it on my calendar, like from noon to 12:30, you're reading these chapters. And whatever I'm doing at the time, I literally stop when my calendar notice, stop, and then do what I have scheduled. So unless you're on a tight deadline and you have to get something done quickly, I would say schedule out your day to get a little of each project done, or started, or move the needle, because it will save you so much stress if you try break up your day like that, versus like putting 8 hours into one and you're like, oh my God, I didn't even touch these other five projects, right?
Right. Right.
Yes, yes, yes. And like Chastity just said, you just don't deal with the negativity and negative people because that weighs you down.
And it's a distraction to from your goal, your business goal. And people don't understand it, especially small business. Other people outside of your ecosystem can literally distract you for
Mhm.
little things. It can be family, friends, or whatnot. And you have to stay focused. And that's when you have to be very in tune in what you want to do and how you want to do it, and know when you need to pivot. And
Right.
and another thing that I think strategically, and this all these things we talked about in this segment, it's all different ways of investing. We're talking about the financial part in the beginning, we're talking about your time management, and now we're talking about your mental psyche.
Mhm.
And all this is all in tied inclusive in your strategically investing in your business. Because if
Yes.
your psyche is disturbed, if your psyche is disrupted, if your psyche is distracted by whomever or whatever, you cannot strategically think effectively on your business. And one thing I can
So good.
tell entrepreneurs is sometimes it's lonely, but it's okay. When it's
Yes.
lonely, it's only you and you and maybe God. It depends on your faith base, and that's okay.
Yes, it is okay. I agree. Mindset's everything, right? And how you're approaching your day. Just for example, just yesterday, one of my team, one of my staff, I asked him a question and he responded, and I was like, because it was like that negativity, right? So I like I had to like take a step back, and the only thing I said to him was, let's work on your mindset because you just put something out there that just can disrupt our whole ecosystem. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Let's work on shifting that, and I'm willing to do that for you,
right.
to help you through that, but it has to stop right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because as you said, it disrupts your psyche, it disrupts your day, and we don't need that. We need to stay focused, and we need to keep niching away at our goal, niching away. And I didn't come from money either. Middle class family. No one gave me the money. Matter of fact, my parents thought I was crazy for becoming an entrepreneur. They're so old school, and they're just like, you have to have that 9 to 5.
right,
What are you doing? What do you get degrees for? You know,
right.
And
I got these degrees. I received these degrees to help me with my entrepreneur skills.
yeah, right, right. I have to. Well, the reason why I did, so um, yeah, a lot of people won't be on your journey with you or support you through that, but that's okay. And like you said, if you're alone, it's okay. The right people and the right things will align with you.
And just don't
Um,
connect with somebody just to connect. No.
yes, no, don't do it. It'll entrepreneurship is lonely, and being a CEO of your brand is lonely because you really don't have a lot of support through it in the beginning. But as you grow and things grow, I can't say the people will come, the right people will come, the right fit will come, the right clientele will come, and like you'll meet, like for instance, you Chasa, we met through a mutual friend through a
Yeah.
podcast, and
Yeah.
it's just like it just was synergy from the beginning.
And you know who you connect with. Like-minded people connect with like-minded people.
Yes.
People can connect with the fruit of the spirit. And
Mhm.
that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And what I have learned is if I am an apple and you are a pear
Hmm.
and we don't connect, it is okay.
Yes.
The journey is okay to be at a halt. That
Yes.
doesn't mean that I have an issue or
Mhm.
I'm upset or I think anything negative about you.
Yeah.
And this is another thing of growth. If you are an apple and they are a pear,
Mhm.
apple and pear should not demean the other fruit.
No.
Just because apple and pear could not come together and make it work, you should not talk about pear and you
Exactly.
talking about the business, or you should not talk, because if they're not aligned and they're not professional, people are going to see it in whatever they do. You don't have to vocally tell them. People will automatically see it, or they might say, well, I saw this in X, Y, and Z. So
Right.
you don't have to be the first one to initiate, well, he didn't do this, or he's a horrible realtor because he did. Trust me,
Right.
it's gonna show that he don't know his stuff. It's okay.
Exactly. It always comes out, right?
No,
It
it comes
always.
out. It takes, you deal with somebody, it takes 6 months to, in business. I think so in personal if you're looking, but in business, you can tell. And my thing is, if I'm a person and I've committed to something, I am a woman of my word and I am going to complete it out.
Yes.
Now, if I deal with you again and I know what you are, or you don't align with where I'm going, and I still choose to deal with you, that's on me. If
Exactly.
you see that y'all are not from the same fruit line and you don't pivot, that's on you. Don't wish
Exactly.
about it.
Yes. Be aware of of what patterns are that you may even pick up yourself. Like, if you know this person doesn't align with you, why keep working with them? Because it's always going to be chaos. Why do you want chaos in your life, right? It's, just stay on your journey. And then just key things is what's important too with business is always know what your competition is doing, right? And like you said earlier, I think you mentioned trends. Follow the trends. Digitalization is huge right
Mm,
now. If you're not moving your brand towards some sort of digitalization, you're not going to be around in the next 5 years.
I agree.
Like we just launched, like for us, we just launched NFTs and digital experiences in our platform. Part of why I was in Chicago. So again, continue to be a learner, learn brands, see how you could grow, and what our small businesses need is what we will provide. Be
Right.
passionate about what you do too. I am very passionate about what I do, helping women grow, helping people of color grow, just like providing tools for businesses, small businesses to grow is something that I'm very passionate about. So whatever you choose as an entrepreneur, be passionate about it, because then you're not even going to like it yourself, right?
I agree.
Some people start businesses and they go with trends. Oh, like the making quick money, or just that's, you're never going to make any anywhere. You're going to keep feeling like you're going on a cycle. Then
Right.
you're starting something, stopping, starting, stopping, starting, stopping.
Right.
But really focus down on what you're passionate about. And thinking about the future. I mean, everyone should be starting to think about the future and all this metaverse stuff. uh,
Right.
yes, and getting, if you're an author, if you have a product, a service, definitely think about NFTs. And yeah, we could help you.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about one more thing, and then we're gonna circle back with the beginning, and
Sure.
then we're gonna wrap it up with you basically giving the hybrid women, the audience, a
Yes.
little taste of what you do and how they can get in touch with you. So we have probably two more things to hit
Sure.
before we wrap it up.
Okay.
I'm loving this conversation.
Me
I mean,
too.
just note that I want you to come back. So, because we have to figure out
Yay.
another way. 'Cause I mean, we're just flowing, and I'm like, ooh, I want this to go longer, but I try to keep my time frame and be conscious of everybody's time.
Yes, I love a great conversation.
Yes. So there's something else that I think entrepreneurs need to catch on to, and it's something called the E Myth. And I read Michael Gilbert, his books, business books, and that's another thing. You have to read And not saying you read the whole book, but you might be going through something and you have
Yes.
all these leadership books and they might have a chapter on what you need at that time. And you read
Yes.
that chapter and it gives you and it feeds you. You have to feed your brain as entrepreneurs because you do
Lifelong
not
learner.
know everything. So one book is my Bible they call the E-Myth. And he talks about the entrepreneur spirit,
Yeah.
the manager spirit, and the technician spirit.
Yes.
And most small businesses owners, and goes back to what we were talking about, but I wanted to give them some girth of what I was saying is
Mhm.
not just based on my opinion. There are books out there to talk about this, where the CEO wants to do everything.
Yes.
And in his book, he referenced entrepreneur, manager, and technician. And most small business, most women, minorities of
Mhm.
color,
Mhm.
they want to be all three.
Yes. Yes.
You cannot be the entrepreneur and you cannot manage and you cannot be the technician. The
Mhm.
technician is the minutia piece.
Mhm.
The person that's running the engine, they're your
Yes.
runners, they're your go-getters. They hit the flow going and they are making sure your daily process, your goals, your agenda, your operations is going. The managers basically sees your vision. They embrace your vision.
Mm.
They're going to help execute your vision.
Yes.
And then the entrepreneur is where you sit. You
Mhm.
always have to look at it high.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean because you're an entrepreneur, you can't go to the manager level, you can't go to the technician level.
Mhm.
You should know every part. So
Yeah.
if you, as the entrepreneur, the CEO, needs you go drop down and you teach.
Yes.
And in my commercial quote, I say,
Mhm.
leaders want to lead, but they don't want to train. And
Yes.
then they get
Yes.
down in the minutia and then they want to have these old woe me stories. Well, it's
Mhm.
old woe me stories because you do everything.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean you don't know because you need to
Yes.
know everything, but you
Mhm.
need to train and then you train them and then you go back up top.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Yes. Yes, as leaders, we definitely have to understand that people just can't come into your company and fit. You have to guide them through what that is, you know. And yes, we need to take that role as the entrepreneur. And like I mentioned earlier, too, know your business, each part of it, but that doesn't mean you have to run each part of it, right? And we do want to control every single part of it. And I know it's something I had to work on, right? And
Right.
reading books, yes, lifelong learner, you know, continuously feed your mind, you know, in order for you to grow, for your team to grow, and for your business to grow, you have to feed your mind and input more tools into your business. Learn from each other because you know you can learn from your staff as well. Be open, you know, be open to just be in conversation with everyone. And I think your path would be very healthy and successful.
The next thing we're going to talk about, we're going to circle back to outside of the mindset of
Yes.
investing in your company, go back to investing. What I want you to do is give a few nuggets and I'll give a few nuggets just to recircle back because
Sure.
I just like to recircle back so they'll know here are your nuggets. If you
Yes.
can give a few investment strategy nuggets to the audience, that would be great. I will give after
Sure.
you and then we can move it on.
Sure. As far well, I wouldn't so like I said, I started with nothing, right?
Mhm.
Like not like with a huge um you know, like with tons of money, like we were talking about. But what I did know is what I was passionate about and what I wanted my niche to be or my services to be. And I crafted those where it made sense to not only me but to my audience. So like I mentioned earlier, definitely have a plan, you know what your niche is, be passionate. And when you do that and you talk and you have consistency, the money will come in. Um, don't go out and spend tons of money in the beginning because it's not necessary. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I need to have like an expensive website. I need to have this. I need to have that. No, you don't.
Right.
Just know your story, know who your audience is, know your competition, and if just those little things, if you know, you can grow and you'll be able to just have income coming in right away. And then from there, you keep adding, you might have to pivot at times. Just be open and continuously, be someone who grows. So time, again, is very important.
Right.
Time, I would say, definitely be aware of what that is to you in your day in life, and have some structure, because structure is also important, because then you're all over the place and nothing's getting done. So definitely have your niche, passion, structure, um, and be present at all times in your business. I think are
Right.
very important things. It's not really talking about, as monetary wise, but it'll come if you do those things, to begin with, and be in conversation with other like-minded people, because if you're not, and you talk about different seeds, right?
Mhm.
So like if you're in conversation with people who don't even understand what an entrepreneur is, or they're not even advancing in their own life, then you're not going to get anywhere. Talk to people at your level or higher in order to grow. Be in those conversations. Not anything's wrong with people who do or not. You're just not aligning with them. We all are on different paths, different journey, and find those people that can help you as well as you can help them.
Awesome. Petula gave you a recap of the mind and the time strategy and investing. I'm going to give you some of the strategies for investing from a financial standpoint.
Mhm.
I'm just going to give you phrases. You can always go and Google. There is passive and active strategies. There's
Yes.
growth investments, such as short-term and long-term investments. There's
Yes.
value investment. There's income investment. There's such things as dividend growth investment. And
Mhm.
then there's something that's called index. I need to research index a little bit more
Mhm.
on that because that was a new one for me.
Mhm.
So there's different ways you can invest concerning financially in
Yes.
your
Yes.
business.
Yes.
So I encourage each hybrant woman that is
Yes.
listening to this podcast, to this show, to go out and do your research, to be
Mhm.
empowered, connect with me, connect with Petula,
Mhm.
and ask us questions,
Yeah.
because we have no problem helping the next woman of color get where they need to be and where they're desired. On
Mhm.
that note, I'm going to give the platform to Petula to tell the audience what she does, how do they get in touch with them, and about you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I help small to medium sized business. Basically, I see their vision and I get them ready for growth. We we take our time with every client that comes on board. We From business strategy to implementing technology. So our platform is wide. So what we provide is a marketplace, an online marketplace for business owners to be able to connect with each other, to do business with each other, and even forums and all kinds of chat where you could align with other business owners just to ask a question if you want. So essentially, we also certify people of color. There's a lot of money out there, ladies, by the way, for especially for women. So we do certification for businesses because the government puts aside a lot of money for women-owned businesses and people of color. So we definitely do certification. We do business strategy. And we take you to the next level in digitalization, because we're all about intelligent technology and breaking down those barriers. And just to add from the financial part of it, if you're looking to grow financially, NFTs are huge right now. A lot of people haven't dove into it yet, but it's something we offer to take your products into NFT, and it's like owning stocks. So be curious, reach out to us and let us know If you have any questions, I'm always available for that. My email address is Petula, Petula, at visionready.org. So I look forward to hearing from anyone that would love to know more about NFTs, about the certification, and just overall wanting to know how to grow your business.
Awesome. Just another thing. Can you tell them what NFTs stand for?
Yes, non-fungible tokens. So what that is, for example, let's say you're an author, right? And you're a self-published author, and now you launched this book. You now create it as an NFT. People who are people will support you even more, because then they end up, when they buy your book, it's like buying a stock into your book. You're making the royalties from that stock, and that person now has almost like a license to your book, right? I mean, you're the creator, the curator of it, but then there's that, and then this person can then sell that stock to someone else. So it's just organically kind of, but people are getting ownership, people are making money along with you. So it's just an incredible thing versus using a publisher who typically takes about 70% of your profits. You're now having this NFT on a live market. Then there's different levels to that. So it's like a token, but then you can go into different stages of that with utilities and that kind of thing. So it's very in depth, but it's so good for people that have, like, for authors, or even if you're selling tickets to something. There's so many ways you could be, to own your own NFT, and people could be browsing one of these days and say, "Oh, this sounds interesting. I want to own stock in that," and they'll buy, a license, or they could buy, they could do more than one. So I would just look at it as having a stock invested into someone's brand.
Awesome, awesome. So I want to thank you for coming on to my platform, being part of the Hybrid Woman ecosystem, and talking to us on our Breaking Barriers show. I really appreciate it, and I really honor you, and I love everything that you possess and you're doing in your life. So I really thank you for these and coming on to the show. So stay tuned. And I just want to tell everybody that's on the show, thank you for coming. I really appreciate you. To each one of the hybrid women that's out there, that's grinding, that's doing what they need to do. Remember, the first thing for you as a hybrid woman is to always be happy, succeed in life, and be mindful. I am your happiness, success, and mindful life coach, as well as leadership trainer. You will always be number one in my book, but you have to know that you're number one in your book. Until next time. Also, remember to go on Amazon and purchase my quote books and get one for yourself for a hybrid woman. Take care until next time.